Designation: RA-047 Zytopant. Psychological human likeness: 0.5. Affiliation: Consortium. The Zytopant, hailing from HIP 65426b, or Demovu, is a rotund, telepathic, and quadrupedal species with a keen opportunistic mindset. Their innate psychic abilities have carved a path for them as one of the local galaxy's most substantial independent economic powers. Biology: a Zytopant is a small and dense lifeform, measuring only 2 feet or 61 centimeters tall, and 3.6 feet or 76 centimeters wide, but weighing 110 pounds or 50 kilograms on average. This evolutionary development resulted from their planet's harsh gravity, 6 times that of Earth. The Zytopant utilizes its stubby proboscis as a grasping appendage to compensate for the lack of mobile forelimbs. The mouth of a Zytopant is positioned on the chest region, just between its 2 front legs. 2 bulbous compound eyes are positioned on the Zytopant head, each with a pseudo-pupil. As methanotropes, Zytopants gain energy by breaking down their planet's plentiful atmospheric methane reserves. In the absence of oxygen, which the species finds toxic, nitrate ions, most commonly dissolved in Zytopant drinking water, act as the reaction's oxidant. Unique palladium-storing organelles in their cells catalyze the reaction, exhaling gaseous carbon dioxide. Blue methane-carrying blood, based on copper, flows through the bodies of Zytopants. Compared to humans, the efficiency of Zytopodian carrier proteins is lower, due to the non-polar nature of methane. This tends to make the species tired more easily, comparable to human anemia or similar lifeforms. Being very long-lived, Zytopants don't reach physical maturity until 50 Earth years of age. The slow metabolism of the Zytopant gives them an upper life of 450 Earth years. Their brains, however, never reach full maturity, and continue to grow until they expire from natural causes. The Zytopant's most defining ability is its neurological adaptability to the infoplane, allowing for the expression of latent psionic and psychic abilities in the material world. This connection is not entirely understood, and is considered anomalous. Still, it's hypothesized that one of the 3 neural nodes within the Zytopant's skull is responsible for handling computational processes in parallel dimensionless spaces. When a Zytopant is well trained, mentally mature, or chemically enhanced by anomalous psychedelics, the Zytopant can break down its local observable reality into memotic vectors, transporting them across space using the Earth subplane as a medium. A memotic scalar that can be removed from the ground, which connects it to our reality and moves freely throughout the infoplane. If the Zytopant is adept enough, he will have the mental ability to reconstruct himself and the objects around him into a solid state after emerging from infoplane. Technology: Zytopant technology is comparatively underdeveloped compared to its contemporary galactic trade partners. The Zytopant technology sector is primarily outsourced to foreign galactic powers in exchange for their financial services. This co-partner relationship has resulted in used Zytopant tech being a hodgepodge of varying acquired technological devices from across the cosmos. The Zytopant species lacks sizable construction facilities to facilitate the production of their tech, so it's assumed much of it is imported from factory worlds under the financial umbrella of Zytopant rule. Regardless of where the tech is sourced from, it generally follows 2 fundamental forms of function. Form 1 is its ease of use. Zytopant weapons, tools, and vehicles can all be operated with a single hand. Secondly, Zytopant technology is always downgraded and minimized for ease of repair. Technological devices that Zytopants have made by members of their species within factories located on their homeworld are on par with the most advanced man-made ships currently at the GRPC's disposal. This includes laser-based weaponry, nuclear rocketry, and semi-autonomous automatons. Orbital stations in the possession of Zytophant Tycoons are entirely that of human design, with a conventional aluminum frame, spinning rings, and ion thrusters for stabilization. However, onboard life support and automated biosphere systems have been installed by Zytophant engineers to match their preferred high-pressure methane-rich environment. A reinforced frame permits an increased rotational spin rate for added simulated gravitational comfort. Anomalous technologies, under the possession of Zytophant patriarchs, are commonly stored away from the public, or sold off to other alien races. The rare expectations are the anomalous items connected to the info plane, which Zytophants feel deeply connected to. Anomalous items that help them understand or traverse the info plane are highly treasured, studied, and utilized wherever possible. History: the Zytophant, for the longest time, lived as slaves in a repressive, Stone Age empire. The species would live like this until aliens scavenging for devices encountered a religious cult of psychic Zytophant outlaws who lived in the Living Hill Highlands. The cult used their psychic powers of suggestion to compel the alien visitors into handing over their technological secrets. These innovations were then used to enslave the barbaric slaver hordes and force them to cultivate Snoopat, an anomalous drug used to boost one's connection to the info plane in most sapient species. Once their homeworld was under the cult's unified control, the Zytophants turned their attention to the stars. Their first contact with another lifeform was relatively peaceful. Not much is known about their first contact with another species. Historical accounts suggest the Zytophants used their psychic powers to uplift the more primitive species in the sapiens by altering their minds. Currently believed to be the Bakaneko, due to the presence of a precursor script similar to the modern Zytophant script being found across their home system. These ruined layouts suggest they once accommodated an alien with short, flat, and stocky body proportions. What species this was, and what has happened to him since, is, as of yet, unknown. First contact with the GT ended tragically when Zytophant diplomats attempted to use their psychic powers to manipulate GT officials into giving them preferential treatment. These violations of market law and member alien sapient autonomy would see the Zytophant diplomats expelled from the GT until they paid an insurance fine to ensure their loyalty. No Zytophant has paid this fine, nor does any Zytophant political structure participate in GT affairs as of the date. The most recent species of contact Zytophants have had is with humans, primarily those residing within the free systems of Monoceros. Unaware of the Zytophant's reputation, the free systems engineered deals they believe will put them into humanity's debt. Using their ability to read the collective unconsciousness, Zytophants were able to counter by predicting stock outcomes. Today, 15% of all free system corporations are owned by the Zytophants through interest or stock shares, while pro-humanity first groups, such as Blue Book, have tried to halt its economic takeover. It's believed that if the Zytophants lost their financial control, it would likely be the end of human-Zytophant relations. Culture and psychology. The alien mind of the Zytophant is challenging to analyze. What is known about their psychology is their affinity to spirituality and supporting the in-group. Zytophants will emphasize family, spirit, and community, similar to humans, but that is relative to all the two species have in common. Their paranoia, innate desire for control, and rationalization for this behavior are so extreme and intrinsic that initiating communication is often difficult. Everything that could threaten the Zytophants is instinctually distrusted, with cross-species friendships, loyalty with other species, and declaration of intergalactic peace being alien to them. The Conclave of Zytophant and their allied alien cohorts is organized in such a way as to prioritize Zytoban supremacy in the cultural and economic sense. The only exception in which a Zytoban feels comfortable cooperating and aiding another alien is when it is under the impression that it is the dominant party. Case examples are anomalous sculptures of their client races with minor ideological hazard properties. The longer one looks at these statues, the further one becomes conditioned to see themselves in a defined underlying role within the Zytoban's interstellar network. Amongst themselves, Zytobans are relatively relaxed and trusting, with families and close-knit communities very supportive of one another. At the head of the family is the Patriarch, often the eldest Zytoban on the male side of the family. The Patriarch commands much of the family decision-making, primarily how future generations will be born and raised. For this reason, Zytobans who cannot have children are often shunned from the family. Modern advancement in medicine and artificial insemination have limited this cultural act, but a few are still outcasted over their genetic disorders. While many different Zytoban families celebrate varying ritualistic holidays of notable events within their family's historical past, all Zytoban commemorate the Day of the Taken Star. This alien holiday is a complete day-long celebration. At midnight, the start of the new day, Zytoban priests will psychically implant mimetic ideas into their local population's minds. Depending on the alien's sensitivity to the info plane, they will experience different levels of ideological perception. Zytobans claim to see a perfect, but allegorical depiction of the day Zytobans use their psychic ability to trick advanced aliens into handing over their technological secrets. Humans have reported feeling an odd sense of elation and curiosity for a thing they would one day have, while some reported sightings of spectral forms shifting around them. Androids posited that they felt no mimetic effect aside from a slight and unexpected sense of attentiveness. When the day breaks, the mimetic show concludes, and an array of reenactments, rituals, and celebrations begin. Plays depicting the alien visit and their subsequent trickery are performed for free, often with the highest levels of practical effects available. Non-native sapient alien races are handed cheap trinkets, which Zytoban children are encouraged to covertly steal and hold on to until the day's end for a reward. Inventors across Zytoban-influenced space are encouraged to present their technological findings and inventions to potential investors. When the day ends, many festivities slow down so Zytobans can celebrate privately with their close families. Roles and ranks. As psychic aliens, the Zytoban political framework, or method, in which their species conduct themselves on a galactic scale is done via shared telepathic consciousness with a supreme entity. The Zytoban race is not a genuine Gestalt consciousness, as members of their species are born disconnected from this psychic network, and must reach maturity to access it. Most Zytobans, light years from their homeworld, cannot tap into their psychic network, requiring the aid of trained psychic priests. Dolni, the lowest class in Zytoban society. Dolni are the Zytobans, as mentioned above, unable to peer into the info plane, or Ursa plane. Most Dolni are minors, and their status as lower class is temporary. However, a mature Zytoban who never develops the potential to use the info plane is considered true Dolni, and untouchable in Zytoban society. They cannot contribute to the psychic network, have little say in Zytoban politics, are refused entry to most establishments, and are frequently encouraged to leave their homeworld to live among similar non-psychic races. Robocy, the middle class. Robocy makes up the bulk of Zytoban society, contributing to the specific aims of developing its economy, trade, efficiency, networking, and expansion. Due to the general shared goals of Zytoban society, Robocies are granted a wide range of self-autonomy, such as the right to own weapons of mass destruction, a spacecraft, property, and foreign alien assets. Most military regiments are staffed with roboseas. Their psychic fortitude is strengthened to assist in FTL Ursa plane drifting maneuvers, and a shared stream of psychic combat experience undetectable or interceptable by radio equipment. MOSI, the priestly caste of High Zytoban Society. MOSIs operate as anchor points, or radio towers in the info plane, playing a vital role in upholding the psychic network. Their immense psychic power over mnemonics makes them masters of suggestion, persuasion, and prediction. Most armed squads in the Zytoban army or ships in the fleet will employ a MOSI to link their combat forces to each other and the home systems. Mizli Boga, the highest rank one can hold in Zytoban society. Mizli Boga helps anchor all Zytoban info plane activity. A monolithic mimetic being, Mizli Boga solidifies their psychic network. Zytobans universally revere it as a telepathic god. Little is known publicly as to who or what Mizli Boga is, where it's located, or what it seeks to achieve. Info plane sensitive aliens in the GRPC and Psi Corps have reported glimpse sights of a mighty shadow lurking in the sea of forms, positing that this could be Mizli Boga. Other info plane sensitive aliens in the GRPC have reported feeling its presence, and glimpsed sights of a shadow of something powerful lurking in the sea of forms adjacent to Zytoban space. Government. With the shared psychic network, comprised of living telepathic nodes, the need for a government is minor. Leaders in Zytoban society are often mouthpieces for the local community's collective unconsciousness. These speakers, while making little policy of their own, can help channel unspoken feelings into constructive thought. These thoughts can create positive feedback loops in the minds of Zytobans, reaffirming their desires. Examples of these speakers can be found in all known establishments, such as science labs, market analysis firms, writing departments, and shipping companies. These speakers are most well known for their work in alien space. Often partnered with a MOSI telepath, the speaker will attempt to compel or coerce other alien species into partnering with or trading goods with Zytoban society. Depending on how the aliens feel, the speaker can convey the alien's collective feeling to his MOSI cohort to devise a way of mimetic deception or uplifting. If a trading post is established, an alien race is uplifted, or an embassy is constructed, these speakers will stick around to monitor the psychological situation of the alien lifeforms around them. If they feel an attack on Zytoban assets is imminent, the speaker is often permitted to request a military deployment to his location. The locations or circumstances cannot permit a Zytoban strike team to assist. In that case, the speaker is permitted to use whatever means necessary to ensure the safety of the establishment's operations. Diplomatic procedures. Despite all warnings, the human Slife faction of the Free Systems of Monoceros, a member of the GT, has continued to trade with Zytoban space, despite the Council's warnings. Due to this tenuous relationship, the GT does not officially recognize Zytoban space, or their consortium of corporations, as protected assets under the Galactic Treaty. Therefore, GRPC captains are permitted to engage in active anomalous reconnaissance into their affairs. For member aliens of the GT who wish to spend their vacation time on one of the many Zytoban worlds, speak to a member of the Galactic Travelers Corps to learn about your compatibility with Zytoban methane-rich xenobiospheres. If one refuses to wear a vac-suit for cultural, religious, or physiological purposes, the GRPC suggests visiting one of the many Zytoban allied homeworlds with atmospheric conditions suitable for you. For those on business trips to Domovu, the Zytoban homeworld, extensive cybernetic augmentations will be required to support your body in 6G. While a null gravity generator suit is recommended, cybernetic augmentations are highly encouraged. The list of implants is as follows. Lower extremity venous pump implants. Carbon nanotube reinforced skeletal frame. Radiation scrubbers. Remember to seek permission from a Zytophant speaker before landing unannounced on any Zytophant homeworld. Due to the ongoing Cold War between Zytophant Consortium market zones and the Sodality, GRPC captains are advised to avoid the two's military exercises. If actions are required to halt the development of an Omega Black-class anomalous superweapon, captains are permitted to take action within reason for the safety of the GT. Despite the tension between pro-market and pro-collectivist factions, Zytophants have yet to make any significant aggressive pushes or shows of force against the Sodality. The Zytophants' preferred modus operandi is subtle modems of mimetic warfare against Sodality Space's population centers. So far, 2 massive revolts have been sparked in the human-founded Union Soviet Satellite Republic's Martian capital, and 3 minor revolts on Bulk's founded Red Collective orbital construction platforms.